tight, tense, tetchy. I believe those are some of the words that we used to describe the goalless draw that we've just witnessed this evening. Good evening, this is Rams Review. We are live looking back then on Derby County 0, Burnley 0 in the Championship. And I think it would have been an absolute travesty if Derby hadn't come away from that game with something.
It would have been, but in reality, we never really looked like we were going to concede. They had a couple of half chances in the first half. Second half, they had a little bit more of the ball and asked a few questions of us. But in reality, we've looked very assured at the back. We gave more than enough to get something from the game. And it was that last chance where Clark headed over that might have just put it in our favour. So if you're talking about playing top of the league, you're talking about a team that doesn't concede, you want to be competitive, you want to limit chances, and that's exactly what we saw out there this evening.
Yeah, they should take a lot, I think, from that performance tonight against that team that we gave such a big build-up, didn't we? We talked about how few goals they've conceded, about how long their unbeaten run was, and for long periods in that game, Derby could have been the team that were at the top end of the division.
Yeah, well, we talk about those details. They didn't concede and they didn't lose, so that's kind of what their basis of the season's been on and why they've been on such a good run. We limited them to very few chances, and in reality they didn't look like a top of the table team for long spells. I thought they built through the pitch well at times in the first 20-25 minutes. They were looking to play short passes. Cullen was always looking to try and dictate the play, and they try and use those wide areas with the fullbacks and the wide attacking players to cause you problems. But the long and short of it is, when they got in those positions, they did deliver balls into the box. We defended superbly. And we had our moments as well. We didn't want that half to come to an end in the first half. We were dominant. We were constantly on them. They had to defend their box brilliantly, which they did. You can see why they've been so resolute at the back. But both teams deserved the point. It felt like a 0-0. It certainly ended up being a 0-0. Probably what we was expecting at the start of the game.
Well, more from Shaun coming your way in a moment. Let's hear, though, what the Derby boss thought of it. We've been speaking to John Eustace.
Just very proud of the effort of the group. I thought every one of the players who were on the pitch tonight were fantastic. The work rate was there, the desire was there, and backed with 26,000 fans right behind them as well. It was a good effort from everyone today.
What did you like about the performance then tonight?
Just the way we stuck together, how dogged we were with and without the ball. We looked very strong defensively. Very hard to play against. We limited Burnley to next to nothing in that second half. I think the first 20 minutes were a little bit tentative, and we weren't aggressive enough from the back with Fozzie and Clarkey and Ebbs. A little bit technical, but we grew into the game. And after the first 20 minutes, I thought we finished the first half really well. Looked like we were on the front foot, and we had a couple of chances from set pieces. Second half, I felt very comfortable, and disappointed that we maybe couldn't just nick a winner at the end.
You had chances in both halves though, didn't you? You had Jerry Yates in the first half and then Matt Clark at the end, and you got in some good areas too.
Yeah, we did, and we have to remember, I think these have only conceded 14 goals all season. They're a very well-drilled team, a very good team. But I thought we went toe-to-toe with them today, and I think we did ourselves proud.
I suppose it's not just a physical effort tonight, it's a real mental effort as well, because you need to stay switched on against a team at the top of the table, and you've done that brilliantly. Yeah,
we spoke about on Saturday how the concentration was key to come away from Swansea with a minimum of a point, and we let ourselves down for that split second tonight. I thought we were outstanding. It's something that we've got to keep building, keep bringing into the team. Concentration, communication key, and I thought tonight we were very good.
You've kept 3 clean sheets on the spin here at Pride Park. How pleased are you to see that resilience in the team, and it feels like a real confidence playing here?
Yeah, it is, and I think that's back with the fantastic fans that we've got here, and as long as they see the effort and the desire of the group, then that's all they want to see. And I think tonight and since we've been here, really, I think the effort's been there for everyone to see that this group of players are fighting for every point, and they'll do everything to try and keep us in the league.
I know we spoke about it yesterday, but it feels like an incredible atmosphere when you consider sort of what's at stake, that it just feels like it's a team competing at the top of the table in terms of the real feel-good factor around the place.
Yeah, I think just to create that feel-good factor was key. To create more of that family vibe, that family atmosphere was really important to me. You know, the staff at the football club have been fantastic, the fans have been fantastic, and the players have been fantastic as well. And to do that, everyone has to be on the same page. We have to create that family and family values, that family togetherness, and that's not done over the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's done over the next 4, 5, 6 months, and you can feel it really getting strong now. And I'm very proud of the club tonight after a real tough game, but a real game that we stuck together and we got a really good point.
A big effort tonight, and I would imagine you're going to say a big effort needed on Saturday at Portsmouth as well.
Of course, yeah. I mean, now the next game is huge. We take each game as it comes, and now we go to Portsmouth together, and we'll go there, and give it our best.
A lot of talk about values and togetherness there, and I think we saw that. We have seen that, haven't we, in recent weeks with the team, that togetherness. I mean, we look at that back three, back five, if you like, and they all look very, very well drilled. They don't look like they're going to concede many goals, barring that odd moment, the details that we discussed previously.
Yeah, it's a complete contrast to his first game where we were at 6s and 7s, and that transition from Paul leaving and obviously John coming into the building. He mentioned in his first couple of interviews getting on the pitch, getting on the training pitch, getting his detail out, and you're starting to see over the last 2 or 3 weeks all of those details coming out. Now I think we can accept that we're not an in-possession team in terms of dominating the ball. I think we probably had 30%, if not less today, against a good Burnley side. But we never feel expansive. We never feel like it's too open, that we're going to get caught out. It always feels like we're in control without the ball. And that is so important. If you're looking for clean sheets, if you're looking to be solid, if you're looking to build a base, that's what he's worked off. Now, if that back three with Langas, Phillips and Clark was stretched and we're looking to build, and the wing backs are always high and wide, then all of a sudden on transition, when you lose the ball, it's difficult to defend because you haven't probably got the pace. Today and the previous games, it's all connected. The units are connected. The defenders have to primarily defend the box, and that's what they're strong at. And I have to say, I thought Phillips and Clark were outstanding once again this evening. Everything that was thrown into there, everything that was to feet, it just suited them. And collectively, from front to back, the effort, the work rate, the desire to compete out of possession, fill in for mates, fill in gaps and defend the box has been brilliant the last few weeks. And that's why you're getting clean sheets.
Burnley had a few chances. They had their little spells in the game. They certainly started brighter. I think Zetterstrom made a decent save, but a save you'd imagine he should make to deny Fleming.
Yeah, I thought Fleming started the game really well. He was dropping deep into spaces, which allowed the likes of Anthony to run beyond. He turned brilliantly. It was a ball over the top. Fleming took it down. I think he chopped maybe Phillips and Clark and got his shot off, and really needed to test Zetterstrom that little bit more. That was a really good chance, and one that Fleming probably, on reflection, would look back and say, I probably should have done better. Make Zetterstrom make a better save. We know that Zetterstrom has the ability to make saves, and of the last few games, it's maybe 1 or 2 maximum a game, which again demonstrates just how well we've done without the ball, how well we've defended the box. Apart from that, they look good in spells, Burnley. They built tidily through the pitch. They were very good in short possession in terms of quick passes in the central areas to force it wide. But we made them look like an average team in this division. What they were was solid, hard to break down, didn't give up too many chances themselves. So it was destined to be a 1-0 at the most. A 0-0 was a fair result, and it was one that probably replicated the two teams out there.
Derby had their opportunities. Not a lot of real clear-cut opportunities. The Matt Clark header towards the end. What was the shout from Jerry Yates? What would the conversation be after the match about that one?
Well, it depends whether Jerry's called for it or not.
Yeah.
If he hasn't opened his mouth, I'd be surprised, because it takes a deflection, I think, off Hannibal, bounced off him.
It loops a bit, doesn't it?
It's a difficult one for Clark. I think people think that's an easier chance than it is. You watch it back and you know that it's coming with pace. Clark is trying to move at the last moment. It's whether or not Jerry called him. If he did call him, he expects a few words to be mentioned after the game. If he didn't, it's probably not Matt Clark's fault. On
that, Matt Clark's a big guy. If he has started to move and then the shout comes, can he kind of stop himself, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because it comes fast, you have a split second to make that call, make that decision. If he thinks he's got a free header and he thinks he's going to bury it, he isn't leaving it for someone else to finish it off. I wouldn't be surprised if he got the call. If he got the call and he's on the stretch, he fully expects Jerry to finish it. Only they'll know. I'm sure they had a discussion afterwards. That was a really good chance, as was Jerry's in the first half, which was a lovely move from Fozzie down to Harness. But unfortunately, those little details, those tiny moments in tight games like that, wins you the game, draws your game, or loses it. And unfortunately, we picked something up today, and we thoroughly deserved it.
Let's go back to the dressing room area now. We can hear from Ebou Adams.
Do you know what? I think it's at the end of the day, I think it's a fair result. I think they had a good chance in the end. I think Jakob Zetterström pulled off a great save, and I think we had near enough very good chances to put it away, and just wasn't to be. So I think in the end, it's a fair result.
Coming from a frustrating afternoon at Swansea, does this just show the character in the group to bounce back like that?
Yeah, and at the same time a little bit frustrating because you can see I would say like an easy goal. You give them an easy goal on Saturday and then perform like that, and it's a little bit frustrating because then it shows that we can do it. And I think for now is to look for Saturday and then be consistent and do that same performance. We can't just okay, look, we've done it again. We can take a foot off the gas, but no, we've got to keep going.
That's 3 home clean sheets in a row now, and the whole team contributed, didn't they?
Very good. I think you can give credit to everyone. Really, everyone played a part. Jerry Yates, Marcus running back, the 3 centre backs, Kane, Callum, Fozzie, everyone's been unbelievable. Zetterström pulled some great saves, and I think for Zetterström, he's only pulled off 3 saves the last 3 games. So, but it's really good. It's positive. It's for us to build on, and hopefully we can carry it on.
Defensively, we're strong, but as well against the sort of the meanest defence in the league, we had some really good moments going forward as well. How promising is that?
It's really good. It's credit to us really, because then we put them on. We had to make them last-ditch blocks, and we had near chances to win the game. And then if you're doing that to top of table or the best defence in the league, I think then you got a good chance.
5 to go now. How are the group feeling going into this last block of games?
It's in our hands. We've got to stay positive, and then scary as it is, enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. I'm not sure we're going to enjoy the ride. We'll endure the ride. How about that one? Let's have a look at these results from elsewhere this evening. Blackburn Rovers 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Bristol City 2, West Brom 1. Norwich 0, Sunderland 0. Preston 2, Cardiff 2. That's an interesting result down at the bottom of the table. And at the top of the table, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. Also an interesting result. Sheffield United, of course, one of Burnley's rivals. Stoke City 1, Luton Town 1. Watford 1, Hull City 0. Their other rivals at the top, Leeds United, went to the Riverside and got a result. Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 1. 3 games to keep an eye on tomorrow at Oxford, at Swansea and at Coventry. How has that affected the table? Let's have a look. Leeds United are back now at the top, and Burnley have dropped to second in the table. Both of those on 85 points. Sheffield United now in the playoffs with Sunderland, Bristol City and Middlesbrough. And the bottom half of the table, Derby are just there, courtesy of that much superior goal difference. Derby County just 4th bottom at the moment, both with Cardiff City locked on 42 points each. And it was interesting just listening to John Eustace, because there has to be a bit of a pragmatic approach to things at the minute, because there's 2 jobs going on. There's the 5 games to go, stay in the division job, and then there is the bigger picture, longer term planning job that needs to be done as well. And they kind of have to happen concurrently, don't they?
I would say not. The bigger picture, don't worry about the bigger picture at this point. It's about staying in this division. We've got only a few games left. He knows he's got the opportunity to build something after this season. But this season it's about trying to stay in the Championship. So every focus for him will be short term. It would be about the next training session, the training session after that, building into the next game. We know how important it is for him. In the week building up to games, we know how much detail he puts in. From the rumours I've heard, he's relentless with the detail, with the opportunity to understand the opposition. We've seen that in these games, how detailed it has been. That's all that matters. Week in, week out, game in, game out. You've got 5 left. It's about staying in this division.
And tough trip next, long trip next. You going?
Yeah, they're all
You need to leave tomorrow.
yeah, they're all tough games. They are. It doesn't matter who you play against. So I know we're looking at top of the table this evening, and it's a chance to win a game of football. You cannot take your foot off the gas. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter about the journey. It's just that mindset of how can I pick up another result. And it's a game that the confidence they've shown, that the results they've had of late. You ignore the disappointment of losing to Swansea, which I didn't think was deserved. If you take that out of the equation, over the last few weeks they've been outstanding, and the long that may continue, because we're in a great position. Ebou mentioned there, it's in our hands, it's down to us. We've certainly got the confidence, the momentum at the moment to stay in this division.
And you certainly feel play like they did tonight shouldn't be a problem.
Exactly, and let's make it simple, that they don't give up chances. So it's the detail at the other end. Can they nick goals when they need to? Can they score them at the right times? We've seen of late they can do that. Defensively, they look sound. They looked resolute. They look like they know exactly what they're doing without the ball. It's the detail of getting the 3 points, and the 3 points against the teams in and around that bottom area that we're playing in the next few games are going to be key.
Well, Owen will be back with you at the weekend as well. Owen, alongside Shaun, we will have full coverage for you of that trip to Portsmouth right here on Rams TV. But from all of us tonight, after the goalless draw with what were top of the table Burnley, from all of us on the Rams Review and here at Rams TV, have a great evening. Good night.